What is up, my friends? I hope you are all in fine form. You are very welcome along to this transfer news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. I've got about 6 or 7 stories that I've got to fly through over the next few minutes. So I'm going to ask you, as always, to drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, you know what to do. So, my friends, got to quickly start off with a shout for Ronald Araujo to Liverpool. Now, I don't believe most of these stories are going to have too much substance to them, but it's our job to bring you these bits of information, see what you guys think of them. So, 90 Minutes are reporting that Liverpool are believed to be one of the suitors for Barcelona's Uruguayan international defender Ronald Araujo. They've also mentioned Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle as potential suitors for him. Look, we all know Barcelona's financial struggles, and he's probably one of their prized assets. You guys have mentioned his name to me many times as a centre-back that you would like to see at Liverpool Football Club. I just asked the same question. When's the last time that we bought a player from one of the big clubs in Spain, Barcelona or Real Madrid? It doesn't tend to happen too often, and I can't see him being somebody that Liverpool would be willing to break the bank for. So for me, I would say this one is probably a resident of a certain island. You know where I'm going. The next story is a bit of a change up, actually. This one comes from Florian Plettenberg, and this one said that Liverpool hold an interest in Maximilian Bayer, and again, apologies if I've mispronounced, it's spelled Beier. 21 years of age. He's been doing quite well in the Bundesliga. He is a forward, and he's got a price tag of about 30 million euro, 6 goals and 4 assists, according to the stats on this one. Look, he's a Hoffenheim player. Florian Plettenberg said Liverpool are one of the clubs that are keep an eye on him. At 21 years of age, you would say if he's going to make a move to a big club, it probably will be in the next year or two. So keep an eye on his name. Maybe keep an eye on what's happening with him at Hoffenheim. I've got to say, as always, I don't have much information on this. I've just seen his name mentioned the last couple of days, so I thought I would bring it to you guys. They say, first of all, he's adamant that Liverpool's place amongst other non-named English clubs is serious, and we've asked apparently to be updated about his contract demands. So there you go. Take what you want from that one. The next one up is a denial of our interest in somebody. So the other day we spoke about Maxence Lacroix of Wolfsburg. There was even some articles saying that George Schmadtke was over for a couple of Wolfsburg games, and we didn't know who he was looking at. We didn't know if he was looking at Mr. Lacroix. We didn't know because it was 2 Gladbach games, I believe. Wolfsburg against Gladbach. We didn't know if it was Kone, but again, Florian Plettenberg has this time denied that Liverpool have any interest in signing Lacroix from Wolfsburg. So I kind of, look, it was a strange name to me, one that just kind of seemed to come out of nowhere, but you know where I'm going with this. Some of these stories are just going to be a bit far-fetched, but I wanted to bring you this because we did bring you the story of a reported interest. I feel like it's only fair and balanced if we bring you the stories about a reported lack of interest. That being said, though, I do want to move on to one interesting story from Simon Jones, who said that Liverpool have not ruled out a move for a defender in the upcoming January transfer window. But before you get really excited about it, because I was starting to get excited when I read this, they do say that it would most likely be a short-term or cheap move if Liverpool were to make one. And again, it feels like if this is true, have we not learned our lessons about short-term or cheap moves in the past? You know the names I'm going to mention: Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak. Yeah, just hasn't worked out. We've looked at defenders for. And then, of course, Arthur Melo, if you're looking into the midfield fiasco, when we were looking, they bring somebody in there. It doesn't work out for us. So, again, I'd honestly rather we did no business than went in to bring in a cheap short-term fix. Also, another Liverpool defender who's out and about is young Reece Williams, who's been on loan at Aberdeen, and Liverpool are considering ending this loan spell because he hasn't made a single first-team appearance for Aberdeen up there in Scotland. So I think it would be proper order if Liverpool were to look to end that loan because, well, he's not getting games. And look, he's obviously not performing well enough for the managers to pick him. That's absolutely up to him. But the big exciting story of today, I held off towards the end, and it's been reported by Team Talk and a few other outlets that Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester United's representatives have all held conversations with Joao Palhinha. Fulham wants about £60 million for his services. He's 28 years of age. I think it's unlikely, but I wouldn't be upset. You know, I'd certainly rather we went and signed Joao Palhinha than Arsenal, because the idea of them having Joao Palhinha and Declan Rice well, that very much worries me. So I hope there is truth to this. It would be a surprise to me because, of course, 28 years of age, £60 million doesn't really scream an FSG type of transfer, but we all know what a good player Joao Palhinha is. I think he's got the most tackles or the most interceptions, something like that. I've seen some really impressive stuff from his the other day that he's leading the Premier League in. So, again, great story, but, how likely do we think it is that Liverpool will spend that much money on a 28-year-old? But I also do have some updates for you around the injuries, and this is where some of the good news, I guess, starts to come in. So let's start off with Alexis McAllister. He had a cut foot and he had to get stitches on it. So that will keep him out of the game, obviously, that we played against Crystal Palace. We probably don't need to use him against Union Saint-Gilloise in the Europa League. So I think he will be good to go, all things considered, for the Manchester United game of the weekend. Diogo Jota, as we told you, he was out running and he is getting his way back to fitness. May see him get some minutes against Union Saint-Gilloise, all going well, maybe just to get his fitness up a bit. But again, it's good news that he looks like he's very close to getting back to full fitness, which we need him for, let's be honest. With Mo going off to the AFCON in January, with the busy Christmas period coming up, games coming thick and fast, having Diogo Jota available would certainly be a plus for Jurgen. Andy Robertson, look, there's nothing new on that other than the fact that it'll probably be January before we see Andy Robertson back at the earliest, is what this piece says. Thiago Alcantara, well, Jurgen hopes that after Christmas we'll start to have Thiago Alcantara available for that second half of the season. Whether he moves in January or not, well, this piece certainly suggests that he's not going to move in January, but we do know he's got 6 months to run. And at least if he's fit and available, it does give Jurgen another option there in midfield. So the last couple of updates I got for you guys around injuries is Joel Matip, who of course is going to be ruled out for the remainder of this season, and Stefan Bajcetic. This is the one that I guess worries me the most, because this says he's recovering from multiple injury setbacks and has an unknown return date. So yeah, not great around Bajcetic. And remember, this is the kid that we have such high hopes in. We're not signing, or at least we're reported not to be signing, another defensive midfielder. It's great having high hopes for him, and we all do. We all respect Stefan Bajcetic's ability. But if you're not available to us, much like Thiago, well then, how are we benefiting from this situation? Now, before I finish up, I just want to go back to the defensive edition in January. I hope that the reason we're maybe looking to do a cheap or short-term deal is not because they want to give Joel Matip another deal. I think it's far too big a roll of the dice now to bring in, giving Joel Matip a new deal when it's probably going to be this time next year where he's back to fitness, which is halfway through a 1-year extension. You can't give him much more than that, surely. So I don't know. I want to know your thoughts on all of these things. No mention of Andre lately either, so can't bring you guys anything on that one. Liverpool will hope to have about 7,500 new people in the Annie Road end for the game against Manchester United on Sunday. The safety certificates and all were being dealt with today. There was a test event being held at Anfield today, which finished with a Jurgen Klopp Q&A as well. So hopefully that will all go to plan, and then we will have I think the highest capacity at Liverpool, or the highest attendance at Liverpool in about 50 years, if that goes ahead at the weekend. And don't forget to check out the trailer that we've put up for the watch along this weekend. It is there on the video section of the YouTube channel. Check it out, let us know your thoughts on it, and I will see you guys at 8:30 if you're watching this early. If not, let us know your thoughts on the video, and we will catch up soon. Much love, bye bye.